she is making announcements at airports that the reason for the delays are due to Democrats shutting the government down. Can you believe they are doing this?
It is TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience as possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted.
By the way, you could fly a plane through those hoop earrings. This is wild. And this is wild propaganda. They're saying this violates the Hatch Act. People aren't that dumb. I know what you're saying. No, Dave, they are. No. I think the majority of people see this. Now, a presidency is always won or lost by 1, 2, 3%, right? Usually within 1%. And it's those independent voters that maybe they liked Bernie, but then when Hillary won, they decided to go to Trump instead. There's people that can be swayed. You might not get the MAGA batch. They might be steadfast. No, deport them all. That might be what, they might not budge. But I'm telling you, there is a large movement happening in our country where we say there is a better way. I live in a red state. I'm telling you, I go up on stage doing stand up. I'm saying the same thing over and over. We want to support small farmers. We want to support single moms. We don't have to be divided one versus the other. We can ask to tax the billionaires. We can ask to pay cheaper health care, fix our potholes and stop funding wars abroad. We can all unite. About 80-90% of us all want the same thing. We're not getting it. And we need to get educated on why we're not getting it and what we can do in future elections and how we can pressure people to make that happen. But no amount of TSA Barbie over here is going to tell us why the government shut down. You're smart. We know why.
As if TSA lines weren't painful enough, travelers are now going to be forced to watch a video of Kristi Noem blaming Democrats for the government shutdown while they wait in line.
However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay.
There have been more than 20,000 flight delays across the U.S. since Monday, so if you're delayed and bored, at least you can watch political propaganda that rolled across all airports today. And so politically, things are heating up. Today is actually the 10th day of the government shutdown, and the Senate is adjourned till Tuesday, so the government shutdown will last at least another week. And just to remind everyone, the Republicans have a 53 majority, but need 60 votes to extend this government funding bill, and only 3 Democrats have broken ranks so far. And while this is all being fought out, over 1.4 million federal workers are furloughed or going without pay, so we'll see what happens.
Guys, sometimes I do not understand the news that this shutdown brings. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, so the U.S. Secretary, of Homeland Security made a video about the government shutdown. And she, oh my goodness, in that video, she legit blamed the Democrats in Congress for the shutdown. And she said their actions are hurting airports and, airport workers and travelers. Now, the plan was to play this video on screens in airports across the country, including those TSA checkpoints where millions of people pass through every day. Now, the problem started when airport officials saw the video and realized that it was political. Now, this video was not just sharing travel information. It was pointing, accusing fingers, blame games. And so many airports were so uncomfortable. Now, instead of sharing the video, they outrightly stood upon their grounds and said, airports in big cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, all refused to share or air this video. And their reason was very simple. They said that airports are public spaces, not political stages. And they said that the video could break the law because public property isn't supposed to be used for partisan messages. Guys, let's see what the creators have to say. And let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Kristi Noem sent a video to every airport in America asking them to play it on all of the TVs, telling people waiting for their flights that the government shutdown was due to the Democrats. Now, if you haven't been paying attention during the last, 6,000 years of Trump's presidency, the Republicans run all 3 seats of legislation right now, House, Senate, and presidency. So if anybody is responsible for the shutdown of the government, it's the Republicans. I know, it's shocking. Fox News won't tell you this. Also, shout out to my hometown of Spokane, Washington, who said, it is our First Amendment right. Also, shout out to my hometown of Spokane, Washington, who went on record to say, we refuse to play your propaganda.
Hey, y'all. Now, for all my travelers out there, while you're juggling your shoes and your boarding pass at TSA, I suppose the Department of Homeland Security thought you needed a political pep talk. You see, Kristi Noem, yes, brunette Barbie Kristi, actually recorded a video blaming Democrats for the government shutdown. And she wants it played on airport TVs all across these United States. So now, our tax dollars are funding political propaganda at Gate 12B. Honey, that's not leadership. That's lobbying with luggage. And even airports like Charlotte, North Carolina, Seattle, LAX said, not today, ma'am, because even they know that probably violates the Hatch Act, that little law that says you can't use government property for partisan politics. Imagine, you blame the Democrats with one hand, and you're using taxpayer money with the other. Not patriotism, not one bit. That's performative politics on the PA system. So next time you hear, now boarding flight 1225, make sure it ain't your freedom getting flown out.
It's the freedom flowing out for me. So some airports said that this video would break the law because public property is not supposed to use the partisan messages and the Hatch Act, right, which is a US law that forbids government resources from being used to promote one political party or the other. And some people just said that they wanted to stay neutral because airports should be safe places for everyone and not places where, politics will just keep playing on loops. And many airport managers are saying that the screens should be used for, flight updates, safety alerts, weather reports, and not for politicians that are blaming each other for the government shutdown. Because they believe that travelers deserve peace of mind, not more political noise when rushing to catch their flights. And guys, you can relate, right? Imagine you're on the TSA line, you're on the line, you want to catch your next flight, and upon the tension you're already feeling, maybe you have you are nervous about flying or about the whole thing that is happening in the United States, right? And you are just seeing this political propaganda that is being played on the screen. Like, imagine how you are going to be feeling. Anyways, I feel they are right standing on their horses. They should not condone this type of things. Just open the government. All these blame games is not going to help anybody. Let's see what these other creators have to say.
When even airports start refusing to play government propaganda, the lines being crossed. The Trump administration tried to air a shutdown blame video featuring Kristi Noem in airports across the US, and several airports said absolutely not. Buffalo, Charlotte, Phoenix, Seattle, and others refused, citing policies against partisan content in public spaces. This isn't just about one ad. It's about normalizing propaganda in spaces we trust to be neutral. Once you blur that line, it's hard to unblur it, Authoritarianism doesn't start with tanks in the streets. No, it starts with messaging you can't escape. But what do you think?
If you've flown in a U.S. airport over the past week or so, you've probably seen the propaganda videos of Kristi Noem blasted on every single airport television. saying that the Democrats are the reason that the lines are so long at the airports, and the Democrats are the reason that the TSA is understaffed. You can be sure that if that woman's mouth is making noise, not one word of it is the truth. The fact is that the Republicans are the one who have shut down the government. And we know this because Republicans are in control of the government. They hold the office of the presidency, the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. So there is no feasible reasoning that could get you to Democrats being responsible. The reason TSA is understaffed is because during a shutdown, government workers like TSA agents don't get paid. So a lot of them start calling in sick because they have to go do other jobs, like drive an Uber. On top of that, the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and Donald Trump have both said, we don't think that we're going to pay the workers who are furloughed during this government shutdown. Yeah, if you're a TSA agent or another government worker at an airport, why would you go to work right now? They've already made it clear that they don't give a fuck about paying government employees. Good news, though, is that a few of the airports are pushing back. The Portland and the Seattle airport have both openly refused to air Kristi Noem's propaganda video. So I'm hoping some more airports are going to follow. I'd like to see Hartsfield and Atlanta do the exact same thing.
Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, I believe a couple weeks ago, put a video out blaming the Democrats for the reason that the shutdown is happening. And this video, she wanted it put at TSA checkpoints, of course, in the airports. But baby, some of the airports are saying, we not displaying that message. And I'm going to say, do you blame them? Because no, nobody wants to see that foolishness at the TSA checkpoints.
And I mean, I really have to agree, it doesn't make any sense, because what is the goal? Okay, so the plan is a plan just to keep blaming, Democrats, or blaming, whoever it is that is to be blamed. Is that a plan? And how long do they plan to keep up with these blame games? So what exactly is the intention of that video? Because I watched the video and I'm like, okay, so now that you have passed the blame on, and you have told them the reason why the government is shut down, and why they are facing what they are facing, and why their paychecks will not come when it's supposed to come. So what is now the when you create the problem, there has to be a solution. So when you put that on the table, what is the solution you are offering? There is no solution. You just keep putting fear and torment in the minds of people. It doesn't make any sense. And when the government uses public places to spread political messages, people just continue to lose faith in the exact government that is supposed to protect them. Airports, schools, federal buildings, they belong to everybody, no matter which side you are on. So once those spaces are used for politics, they start to feel divided. They stop feeling public. And I like the way those airports, managers or whoever is in charge of the airports stood their grounds and they said, not here, because they are just reminding America that even in tense times, guys, neutral spaces matter. I mean, an airport is a neutral space. It should not be, it's not that deep, right? It should not feel that, overwhelming even at the airport. Public spaces should unite people, guys, not push them apart. And these airports were right to refuse this video. That is what I think. Keep the airports neutral. Let the government be honest about all this whole thing. And keep all these public spaces free from propaganda. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with this? Do you think these airports were right to refuse these videos? Or do you think they were just overreacting? Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.